Welcome all. My name is Gaia. Today we're gonna start on our back. So find a comfortable position laying down on your back. If it feels good, you can bring the sole of the feet to touch in butterfly pose, or you can have the leg just relax in front of you. Anything that feels good. We're gonna use this first few moments to connect to our breath. So start to bring your awareness onto your inhale and onto your exhale. And try to make your breath deeper and slower, breath after breath. Bringing your awareness onto the pause in between each inhale and each exhale that naturally occurs. And bring your mind into this very present moment, leaving the past behind, leaving the future from grasping, knowing that thoughts comes and go, feelings comes and go. Bring your awareness on what is that remains. Today's gentle flow will be focusing on the concept of clarity. So we're going to start with this breath awareness to help us unclutter our minds. Whenever you're ready, take a deep inhale through the nose, filling the lungs all the way to the top. And then open the mouth and let the air all go out, side out. One more cleansing breath. Inhale, deep inhale through the nose, filling the lungs all the way to the top. And whenever you're ready, open the mouth and let it all go out. If you would like to set any intention for your practice today, feel free to do so. If you would like to invite clarity on any aspect of your life, or maybe just invite some openness to allow us to see further than we are right now. Let's do one more cleansing breath. With the next inhale, fill the lungs all the way to the top. Hold the breath at the top for a few seconds. Focus on your intention for your practice, if you choose to have one. And when you're ready, exhale all the air out. And we're gonna start moving, so release the leg all the way to the front of the mat for a laying down position, if they're not there already. And with the next inhale, reach the arms all the way overhead. Bring the finger to interlace, maybe if that's allowable for you, and place the palms like through an imaginary wall in the back. As you do so, flex your toes throughout your body, activating your toes, curling your toes throughout your body. One more full round of breath, deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale through the nose, relax the arms along the side of the body. And relax your toes. With the next inhale, reach your arms all the way overhead along the side of the ear. Interlace the fingertip one more time, pressing the palms to an imaginary wall in the back. And this time, point your toes forward, making yourself even longer by pointing all your 10 toes forward, creating more space, creating more length. One more inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, release the arm along the side of the body, release the toes. One more inhale, bring the arms along the side of the ear and grab the opposite elbow. As you grab your opposite elbow, start moving your upper body to the right corner of your mat. When your upper body reaches that edge when you cannot move it to the right anymore, start moving your feet to the right corner of the mat. maybe crossing the left ankle over the right ankle for a C shape, stretching all the lateral side of the body from the IT band all the way up to the rib cage. Enjoying this juicy stress for a few breaths. And when you feel complete, come back to center. Find center both with your feet and with your upper body. And when you're ready, start moving the upper body to the left side, the left corner of the mat. When your upper body doesn't reach anymore to the left, start moving your feet to the left corner of the mat, maybe bringing the right ankle over the left one. For a stretch on the opposite side, from the IP band all the way up to the rib cage. When you feel complete, come back to center, bringing your body in the center of the mat, releasing the arms along the side of the body, and placing the sole of the feet onto the mat, hip distance apart. With your next inhale, lift your hips all the way to a sky for a bridge pose, and reach your arms overhead along the side of the ear. As you exhale, release the hips down onto the mat and release the arm along the side of the body. With the next inhale, lift your hips all the way to the sky, move your arms along the side of the ear. As you exhale, release the hips down and release the hands back down onto the mat. One more time, inhale, lift your hips high, lift the hands along the side of the ear. And this time, if it feels good, you can hold, or you can keep moving with your breath up and down. Feeling the length in the spine, relaxing the shoulder, relaxing the neck on the mat. One more inhale. And as you exhale, gently and slowly bring down to the mat, vertebra by vertebra, your whole spine, and bring the knees into the chest. Start making circle with your knees, moving the knees into opposite directions. And as you do so, squeeze the lows back down onto the mat, flat onto the mat. And start making circle into the opposite direction. And when you feel complete, find center. Bring the knees at a 90-degree angle over the body. T-shape your arms. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, let the knees sink to the left side for a stretch, a twist, and maybe look at the back hand. And let it all fall down onto the mat for a side twist. With the next inhale, come back to center, knees at a 90-degree angle. And with your next exhale, let the knees sink onto the opposite side, onto the right side. For a twist on the opposite side, maybe looking at the back hand, squeezing the shoulder down onto the mat. With your next inhale, bring the knees back to center, hug the knees into the chest, and gently rock up and down the length of the spine, making as big or a slow movement as you may feel like. And we're gonna meet into a seated position. As we arrive into a seated position, we are gonna keep moving our spine. So with the next inhale, we're gonna reach the arms all the way to the sky, and we're gonna look all the way up. Exhale, release the arms down and look down. Inhale, reach your arms up and look up. Exhale, release arms down and look down. One more time, inhale, reach your arms up, look up, listen for the change. Exhale, release the right hand down and move on to the side stretch. If you have a block, you can place your hand onto the block if that feels good. Try to keep the tailbone square onto the mat, the chest open. One more full round of breath. Inhale, come back to center, both arms up, look up. Exhale, release the opposite hand down and move on to a side stretch. Keep your chest open. Keep the hips square onto the mat. And find length, find space. With the next inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, release the left hand onto the opposite knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, twist. Any amount that allow your spine to be straight. If it feels good, you can look to the back of the room or anywhere is comfortable with your neck. With your next inhale, come back to center, reach both arms up, look up. And exhale, release the right hand onto the opposite knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, move into the twist. If it feels good, you may want to look to the back of the room or anywhere that is comfortable with your neck. Let your next inhale bring you back to center, and we're gonna move into a tabletop position. So come on to hands and knees. The hands are underneath your shoulders, the knees are hip distance apart, and we're gonna move into a different type of cow and calf stretch. So with the inhale, arch the spine, tailbone lift, look all the way up to the ceiling or forward. With the exhale, bring the chin into the chest, round the spine, and sit back on your heels. The inhale bring you forward, arch the spine, tailbone lift, look all the way up. Exhale, chin to chest, around the spine, and keep rounding so that you sit all the way back onto your heels. Inhale, bring you forward, arch the spine, look all the way up to the sky. Exhale, chin to chest, around the spine, keep rounding, sit all the way back to your heels. Two more, inhale, bring you forward. Arch the spine, look all the way up. Exhale, chin to chest, turn the gaze inward and keep moving inward until you sit to your heels. Last time, inhale, bring you forward, arch the spine, look all the way to the sky. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, sit all the way to your heels, and this time hold into a child pose. So if it feels good, you can place the forehead on a mat or on a block. If you have a block next to you, and just try to release, you can place the block and place the forehead on the block. Holding here for a few breaths. Connecting to our intention, using this moment where the gaze is inward with our forehead onto the mat to connect to your intention, to connect to clarity, to let any thoughts go from the mind, any feelings that may arise, just let it pass like a cloud in the sky. And come back to your nice, slow and smooth breath. With your next inhale, come back to a tabletop, to hands and knees. Take a deep exhale, find center. Inhale again to center. As you exhale, move the hips to the left side, creating a stretch on the outer edge of the leg. The inhale bring you to center. Exhale, move the hips to the right side and maybe move the shoulder. This movement can be as big or as slow you may like. Inhale, bring it to center. Exhale, move into the body to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, move body to the right. One more time, inhale, center. Exhale, move body to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, move body to the right. Inhale, back to center. Deep exhale, move into the next exercise. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the arms under, tap the shoulder onto the mat. With the inhale, open up the right arm all the way to the sky for an open side twist. And as you exhale, bring the arms underneath you, tap the shoulder onto the mat. One more time, dynamic movement. The inhale, reach the arm, open up to the side. Exhale, bring the arm under, and this time hold here. And you may want to lengthen the left hand all the way forward if that feels good, or keep it in front of your face. Anything that feels good. If you want, you can also do a half wrap, bringing the left hand around your waist if that feels good. Any variation that feels good with you tonight. If your arm is extended forward, bring the hands back in front of your face. With the next inhale, unwind, reach the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, reach opposite arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread it under, tap the shoulder onto the mat. Inhale, reach the arms open onto the side. Exhale, thread it under, tap it onto the mat. One more time, inhale, reach arms open. Exhale, thread it under, tap onto the mat, and this time hold. Any variation that feels good, maybe bringing the right hand forward to the front of the mat. Maybe a half bind, bringing the hand around you. Any variation that is good with you. Bringing your awareness, noticing how one side feels compared to the other, honoring the differences. If your hands is all the way forward, slide it in front of your face, and with the next inhale, unwind, open the arm to the side, and exhale, releasing down onto a mat, onto a tabletop. Moving on to a side stretch. Start moving onto the right side of the body, lengthening the left leg all the way into the back of the mat, and reaching the left arm forward and up. You can stay here, or if you want to challenge your balance, you may want to lift the left foot off the mat if that feels good, or keep it onto the mat, anywhere that is good. If you're lifting the foot on the mat, remember to engage your core to keep yourself strong. And feel this strong energy line coming from your toes, along the side of the body, and all the way up to your fingertip. One more round of breath. Last inhale. And exhale, release down onto the mat into a tabletop, moving on to the opposite side. So onto the left side of the body, the right leg shoot back, and reach the right arm up or maybe forward and up. You can stay here, or you can choose to lift the right leg off the mat. If you do so, engage your core and find a focal point in front of you that helps you hold stable into this pose. Feeling that energy line from their toes coming to the side of the body, shooting all the way up to your fingertips. One more round of breath. Last inhale. And exhale, release down back into a tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Deep inhale through the nose, look forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, move into down facing dog. As you arrive into down facing dog, start bending one knee at a time, gently and slowly, exploring this pose for the first time. And move with your breath. Maybe use each exhale to go deeper into one leg and feeling more stretch in the back of the leg, opening, releasing any tension in the back of the legs for a few breaths. And as an option, if down dog doesn't feel good for you tonight, you can come into a tabletop and lengthening one leg at a time back onto the mat. Few more breaths here. And then find stability, and with your next inhale, step the left foot in between your hands and drop the right knee, untuck the right toes. We're gonna come into a low lunge, just for a few breaths. And if you want, you can tuck the back toes or untuck it anywhere that feels good. Whenever you're ready, bring the hands in front of you. Bring the right hand below the left. Bring the elbow to cross, bend the elbow, and bring the back of the hands together, or maybe the palms together. As you do so, press your elbow away from the body, and if it feels good, tuck the chin down into the chest, opening up the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders to create space. One more full round of breath. With the next inhale, release the hands down onto the mat. Come into a tabletop position. Take a deep inhale through the nose. As you exhale, bend your elbow, bring the chin to the mat, then the chest, and slide all the way onto the mat. As you arrive onto the mat, the forehead onto the mat, interlace the fingertips behind your back. Lift the leg off the mat. We're going to counterbalance the previous pose by spreading the collarbones, opening the chest, opening the front of the body. One more round of breath. Last inhale, and exhale, release down. Bring the palms on each side to frame your rib cage. Push yourself back up into a tabletop. Tuck your toes. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhaling down facing dog. Holding here for just a few breaths. This time, maybe find stability if that feels good, or keep moving by bending one knee at a time, anything that feels good. If you find stability, press the floor away with all 10 fingers. And feel free to keep the knees bent to help you lift the tailbone up. With your next inhale, step the right foot in between your hands, drop the back knee, untuck the toes, and we're gonna come into a low lunge into the opposite side. Find your center just for a few breaths. And then release your arms in front of you. This time the left arm underneath the right one. Bend the elbow, either bring the back of the hands together or double wrap and bring the palms together. Anywhere you are, push the elbow away from the body and maybe tuck the chin into the chest. Balancing the opposite side. Opening the back of the neck, the back of the throat, bringing clarities in our words by opening up the throat area. One more full round of breath. With your next inhale, release, bring the hands onto the floor into a tabletop position. And as you exhale, bring the chin onto the mat, the chest onto the mat, and lower all the way down onto the mat. One more time, interlace the fingertip with the opposite thumb on top. And you can stay here, or you can lift everything off the mat if that is good for you. One more full round of breath. Last inhale, and exhale, release down. Take a moment to create a pillow with your hands, resting the foreheads onto their hands. And you can bend your knees and windshield wider, the knees to the right and to the left if that feels good, or you can just find stability. Wherever you're at, feel that connection of the forehead onto the mat. Invite clarity of thoughts. When you're ready, release down onto the mat. Bring again the palms on each side of the rib cage and push yourself back up into a tabletop position. Step your foot close to your hands. We're going to move into a forward fold to the front of the mat. Anywhere you are, feel free to bend the knees a lot so that your belly comes onto your knees. So we want to create space and length in the spine. So try not to just go down with a straight leg, but bend your knees so that your belly rests onto your knees. Your shoulders stay away from the ears. And you create space in the spine, releasing the neck down, holding no pressure, no tension onto your neck. And if you have block, you can place block in front of you and rest the hands onto the block as well. If it feels good, you may want to swing side to side. And then gently and slowly, vertebra by vertebra, start rolling all the way up to standing, taking several breaths. And we're gonna come all the way up into a standing position. We're gonna move in some dynamic chair pose. So bring if it feels good with your knees, bring the big toes to touch, the heels slightly apart. With the inhale, sit into a chair pose. With the exhale, reach up to standing all the way tall and cactus your arms and maybe look up. With the inhale, sit into your chair pose. With the exhale, reach all the way tall, cactus the arms, look up. Inhale, sit into a chair pose. Exhale, reach up to standing, cactus the arms, look up. Inhale, sit into a chair pose. Exhale, reaching tall, cactus in the arm. Last time, inhale, sit into a chair pose. Exhale, standing tall, cactus in the arms, and releasing down. Moving into a moving warrior 2, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Size your hips so that it's comfortable to have your hips facing the side of the mat. So the legs can be closer together or farther apart, anywhere that feels good. The hips are facing the side of the mat. The hands are spread in a T shape and the gaze is forward. With the inhale, we're gonna lengthen the front leg and reach the arms up. And with the exhale, we bend the front knee and we bring the arms down. Inhale, lengthen the front leg, reach arm ups. And exhale, bend front knee, arms down. One more time, inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, bend the front knee. Last time, inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, bend the front knee and just hold for very few breaths, trying to relax the shoulder, bringing the gaze forward. Seeing your intention in front of you, seeking clarity, seeking light in front of you. And with the next inhale, lengthen the front leg. And as you exhale, move forward. We're gonna move into a triangle pose. So feel free to use a block, if you have one, to place your hands onto the block. And feel free to keep a bend into the front knee, just for a few breaths, opening the side of the body, opening the chest. Creating space. And feel free to bring the top hand onto your hips if that's better for your shoulder and for your arms. One more full round of breath. And when you're ready, with your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. And we're gonna step back to the front of the mat. Moving on to the opposite side. So we're gonna step the right leg back. Find your space first, whatever size of your feet works, in order to open the hips to the side of the mat. And whenever you're comfortable with your feet, spread your arms wide, gaze is forward. With the inhale, lengthen the leg and reach your arms up. Exhale, rebend into the front knee, arms down. Inhale, lengthen leg, arms up. Exhale, bend front knee, arms down. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, bend. Last time, inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, bend. Take a moment here, just few breaths, to gaze in front of you, softening the shoulder. Seeing your intention happening, see the light in front of you, see clarity. Inhale, lengthen the front leg, and as you exhale, move into a triangle pose. Feel free to use a block to place your hand. Bend the front knee. The top arm can come onto your hips, if that's better, or can keep being all the way up, anywhere that feels good. Your gaze could be down, could be forward, could be up, anywhere that is comfortable with your neck. And with the next inhale, release, come all the way up to standing, coming to the front of the mat. Moving into a breathing technique that brings clarity and openness. Find a comfortable position with your feet, either closer together, hip distance apart, anything that feels good. Soft bending your knees. We're gonna inhale, reach your arms up, the palms facing each other. And as you exhale, you bring fists and you bring the hands closer to your body. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Keep moving, honoring your breath. Try to keep the breath soft, slow, and long. We're pulling energy and pulling prana to create space and to invite clarity in our life. So your breath could be faster, could be slower, but I invite you to keep your breath deep, slow, and long. Few more times. And when you feel complete, release the arms down. Take a moment to bring the hands to heart center, to connect to your intention, recenter, notice the effect of this breath technique. Notice if you feel more open, feel more space. And an invitation for clarity is. When you're ready, keep the hands to heart center. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. And we're gonna squat down into a Malasana pose. So feel free to have blocks in front of you. Release the hands down onto the mat. You can come onto your heels if that's better. Anywhere, and try to play around. You may wanna maybe lengthen your legs and then calm down. If that helps, create a little bit of movement. So that slowly, breath after breath, we are opening up our hips. And use your breath to soften and release any tension. So the inhale energetically invite energy into the body. The exhale, let any tension, any discomfort out of the body. And when you're ready, release. And come back into a seated position, bringing the legs all the way in front of you. We're gonna bring the right foot closer to the mat, onto the mat, the sole of the foot on the mat. Release the right hand behind us. Take a deep inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right. You can either hug your knees or maybe place the elbow against the knees. Anywhere you are, the most important thing is that your spine is straight before you twist. As you are in the twist, try to use the inhale to create space and lengthen, and the exhale to move deeper into the twist. If it feels good, you can try to play with your gaze to the back of the room, gaze forward, see where the neck feels comfortable. One more full round of breath. With the next inhale, release back to center. Bring the sole of the right foot into the inner thigh. Release the left arm behind you this time. Inhale, reach the right arm up. As you exhale, place the right hand on the outer edge of the left leg, any amount to allow you a twist in the opposite direction. So it could be more further down, it could be more up. The goal is to twist, turning to the left side this time. And keep working on keeping the spine straight and long as you twist. Keep bringing your awareness onto your slow, deep, intentional breath. As you're ready with the next inhale, come back to center. Reach both arms up. And exhale, fold into the front leg any amount. Try to hinge from the hips to help you move forward. Try to create length and space in the spine as you move forward. Use the inhale to create space and lengthen. In the exhale, to release any tension and bring you deeper into the stretch. One more full round of breath. Inhale, come all the way up with a straight spine. Switch the legs. The left foot, come onto the mat. Release the left hand behind you. Deep inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, twist to the left side, either hugging your knee or maybe bringing the elbow against the knee. Anywhere that feels all right in this side. Twisting onto the left side in the direction of the bent leg. Using the inhale to lengthen the spine and the exhale to twist deeper. Maybe playing with your gaze. Look into the back of the room if that feels good. With the next inhale, come back to center, bringing the sole of the feet into the inner thigh, releasing the right hand behind you. Reach the left arm up, and as you exhale, bring the left arm on the outside of the long leg, creating a twist, creating space, twisting onto the opposite side, using a long spine during the inhale and using the exhale to guide you deeper into the twist. With the next inhale, come back to center. Reach both arms up. Exhale, fold onto the front leg, holding the legs in any spot or maybe grabbing the feet anywhere that feels good. Try to hinge the hips forward, using the inhale to create length in the spine and the exhale to move closer to the front leg. And using each breath as an opportunity to create more space, an opportunity to invite clarity by releasing with every exhale any tension, anything you don't want out of your body, and inviting clarity with each inhale. With the next inhale, come back to a straight spine. This time lengthen both legs to the front. Find a straight spine first. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Feel free to bend your leg and grab underneath the leg, or feel free to keep the leg straight and fold forward. What we are trying to achieve is the length of the spine. So feel free to bend the legs if that feels better to create length in the spine. And use your breath to ask for invitation to move a little deeper into the pose, breath after breath. With your next inhale, come back up with a straight spine. Place the hands behind your body, fingertips are facing your hips. Place the sole of the feet onto the mat, hip distance apart. And with your next inhale, lift your hips high for a reverse tabletop. If you want a different variation, you can lengthen the leg forward and look up anywhere that feels good. Counterbalancing the previous action, creating extension into the spine, spreading the collarbones, opening the chest, feeling grounded onto the earth, but with clarity up in the sky. One more inhale, lift a little higher, and exhale, release all the way down. Move forward, laying down all the way down onto the mat. Bringing the fingertip spread wide, wider than the mat. Releasing the forehead onto the mat as the fingertips are onto the floor. With the next inhale, peel the chest open, look forward. As you exhale, release the right shoulder onto the mat and look to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release left shoulder to the mat, look to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, right shoulder down, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left shoulder down, look right. Keep moving, honoring the pace of your breath, exploring your body. Notice how one side feels compared to the other. Just using the next several breaths to connect deeply with your body, with its needs. And when you feel complete, come back to center, bringing the elbow underneath the shoulder. The palms are onto the floor. With the next inhale, peel the heart open for a Sphinx pose. For Sphinx pose, you want to create length in the spine, so don't crunch the neck, but just keep the spine long, looking forward, looking down, anywhere that allows your neck to be long. Squeezing the shoulder blade down and back to allow the collarbone to spread a little more. Few more breaths. One more round of breath. Last inhale, create space. And exhale, release down. Press the palms on each side of the rib cage to push yourself back up. Bringing your legs in front, the sole of the feet touch in a butterfly pose. Once we get here, we're gonna leave the right leg and the right foot as they are and bring the left foot behind the body. The feet can be either closer to the body or at a 90 degree or farther away from each other. Find center first, and this could be exactly where you're gonna be, or if you want, you can try to inhale, lengthen the spine, and see how it feels to fold onto the front leg. And as you do so, try to keep your hips square onto the mat, square to the front of the mat. And try to keep your spine long. And keep breathing deeply, asking your breath for invitation to move a little deeper into the pose. Few more breaths on this side. And when you feel complete, come back with a straight spine, switching the legs. So we're gonna start with a butterfly pose for solo the feet together, and then bring the right foot behind, keeping the foot either closer to the body or maybe closer to a 90-degree angle. Once you find yourself square onto the mat, deep inhale, lengthen the spine. And if it feels good, fall forward in an exhale. Any amount, keeping the spine long. Noticing how this side feels compared to the other one. Honoring the differences. And using the breath to soften and release. When you feel complete, come back to a straight spine. We're gonna move into sitting on onto both knees, into a hero pose. If you have a block, you can sit on a block too, if that's better, or you can just sit on your heels anywhere that feels good. So as we arrive here, find a straight spine, and we're gonna move in a breath technique that helps releasing and loosening the upper part of the body. So with the next inhale, bring the hands to heart center. As you exhale, push your hands forward, round the spine, bringing the chin into the chest. Inhale, spread your arms wide and look all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the palms all the way forward and together, chin to chest, round spine. Inhale, hands to heart center, straight spine, look forward. Exhale, push hands forward, look down, chin to chest. Inhale, spread arms wide, look all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands all the way forward, chin to chest, look down. Inhale, hands to heart, look forward, straight spine. Exhale, push your arms all the way forward, chin to chest, look down. Inhale, spread arms wide, look all the way to the sky. Exhale, hands forward, chin to chest, look down. Inhale, hands to heart, look forward. Last time, exhale, push, look down, chin to chest. Inhale, spread arms, look all the way up to the sky. Exhale, chin to chest, hands forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. And now sit on one side, bring the leg in front. We're gonna start making our way down onto the mat, laying all the way down onto the mat. Keep a block next to you if you don't have one. And we're gonna first move, bringing the sole of the feet onto the mat, and bring the right ankle over the left knee. So we're gonna start with this position. T-shape your arms, bring the left knee closer to the body so this is a 90 degree. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, twist and let the knees sink onto the left side. And sink the knees onto the left side for a twist with this cross leg position. Try to keep both shoulders onto the mat, and feel free to press a block to let your knees rest onto the block instead of onto the floor if that feels better. With the next inhale, come back to center. Keep the cross of the leg, re-bring the left knee into the chest, and exhale, let the knees sink onto the opposite side, the right side. Keep the shoulder onto the mat, using the feet to keep the knees down. And maybe look to the backhand if that feels good with your neck. With the next inhale, come back to center. Release both feet onto the mat. Bring the left ankle over right knee. With the next inhale, bring the right knee into the chest at a 90 degree. And as you exhale, let the knees sink down onto the right side for a twist. Keeping both shoulders down onto the mat. Maybe looking at the backhand if that feels good. With the next inhale, come back to center. Right knee is 90 degree angle. And the exhale, bring both knees to the left side. And maybe look at the backhand if that feels good. With your next inhale, come back to center. Release both feet onto the mat. Have a block next to you. When you're ready, with the block next to you, with the next inhale, lift your hips and place the block underneath your tailbone. And couple of options here. If it feels good, I'll invite you to lift your legs up to the sky and stay here. If you prefer, you can keep the legs all the way in front of the mat to open up the body. So this is one option, and the second option is with the legs all the way up to the sky. Hold in here for a few breaths. Feel yourself grounding onto the mat and seek for clarity all the way up into the sky. If you want, you can point and flex your toes as you are inverting the legs, if that feels good. And when you're ready, gently and slowly release the feet down onto the mat. Use an inhale to lift your hips, remove the block. And then hug your knees into the chest. Squeeze yourself into a thigh ball, bringing the forehead closer to your knees. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sip a little bit more air through the nose. And when you're ready, exhale and release your body all the way down onto the mat for final Shavasana. Arrive into this very moment, relaxing and releasing down onto the mat. Any tension, anything that you don't need anymore. Relaxing your whole body down. And if any thoughts comes to mind during this final Shavasana, remember the thoughts and emotions are like clouds in the sky. They come and they go. So let them pass and focus on what remains in the pause in between the thoughts, in the pause within the emotions, and seek clarity into that pause. Gently start bringing your awareness back onto your fingers and onto your toes. With the next inhale, reach your arms overhead, giving yourself a nice soft stretch. Bend your knees, come into a fetal position onto one side of your choice. And whenever you feel complete, come into a seated position. And as you arrive into the seated position, bring the hands to heart center, soften your eyes. I'm gonna end with a quote. Clarity is the secret. Clarity is the weapon. Make it clear, See it happens. Make it clear. See it becoming. Press your hands onto your heart, thumb onto your heart, to ask for clarity into your heart and let it guide you into your life. Press the hands onto your lips, thumbs onto your lips, to invite clarity into your words. Press the thumb into the forehead to invite clarity into your thoughts. Namaste.